In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, humanity had always been considered a curiosity at best and a nuisance at worst. The Galactic Council, comprised of ancient and advanced civilizations, had long dismissed the upstart species from Earth as barely more than talking apes with delusions of grandeur. But on this day, as the council chambers buzzed with an unprecedented urgency, that dismissive attitude was about to change forever. The Arcturian representative, a being of pure energy contained within a shimmering force field, pulsed with agitation as it addressed the assembly. Esteemed colleagues, we face a crisis unlike any in our history. The Zarkov Dominion has launched a full-scale invasion of the Sol system. A collective murmur rippled through the chamber. The Zarkov were a scourge upon the galaxy, a hive-mind species that consumed entire worlds, leaving nothing but barren husks in their wake. They had been the boogeymen of space-faring races for millennia, and now they had set their sights on Earth. The Rigelian ambassador, a towering insectoid creature, chittered nervously. Surely, this is a simple matter. The humans are primitives. They will fall, and we will mourn their passing as we have mourned countless others. You are mistaken, the Arcturian pulsed, its light dimming to a somber blue. The humans, they fight. Silence fell over the chamber, broken only by the soft hum of life support systems and the occasional rustle of an alien appendage. The concept seemed absurd. No race had ever stood against the Zarkov and survived. A holographic display flickered to life in the center of the chamber, showing real-time footage from Earth's orbit. The assembled representatives watched in stunned silence as human warships, crewed by galactic standards, hurled themselves at the biomechanical horrors of the Zarkov fleet. Impossible, whispered the Syrian delegate, her crystalline form refracting light in patterns of disbelief. Yet the impossible was unfolding before their eyes. Human fighters darted between the tentacles of Zarkov dreadnoughts, their missiles finding weak points that no other species had ever exploited. Ground forces on Earth's surface fought with a ferocity that defied comprehension, using tactics that seemed suicidal yet somehow effective against the invaders. The Arcturian's voice resonated through the chamber. We have observed them for cycles, dismissing their potential. But in their darkest hour, humanity has revealed a strength we never imagined. They refused to surrender, even in the face of certain doom. As the council watched, a massive Zarkov mothership descended upon the North American continent. It seemed the end was near. But then, a swarm of nuclear warheads launched from hidden silos, engulfing the alien vessel in a blinding flash. When the light faded, the mothership was falling from the sky, its hull breached in a dozen places. By the eternal void, gasped the Andromedan representative, its gelatinous form quivering with emotion. They've wounded a worldrender. No one has ever. The Arcturian pulsed urgently. You see now why I have called this emergency session. Humanity is not merely fighting. They are winning. Against all odds, against an enemy that has decimated countless civilizations, they stand defiant. The holographic display shifted, showing scenes from across Earth. In the ruins of cities, humans banded together, rescuing the injured and rallying to defend their homes. Scientists worked tirelessly in underground bunkers, reverse engineering Zarkov technology at an unprecedented pace. And in orbit, a new fleet of ships was taking shape, cobbled together from the remnants of the invaders' own vessels. We have a choice to make, the Arcturian continued. We can continue to stand idle, as we have for eons, watching civilizations fall to the Zarkov. Or we can recognize that in humanity, we may have found the key to ending this threat once and for all. The chamber erupted in debate. Some argued for isolation, for allowing the humans to fall as so many had before. Others, inspired by the tenacity they witnessed, called for immediate intervention. As the arguments raged, the holographic display continued to show the battle for Earth. And there, amidst the chaos and destruction, humanity fought on. Too stubborn to die, too determined to fail, they raged against the dying of the light with everything they had. The Galactic Council stood at a crossroads. The fate of not just humanity, but perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. And as they deliberated, the eyes of the cosmos turned to a small blue planet, where an insignificant species was rewriting the rules of what was possible. The age of humanity had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. As the Galactic Council debated, Earth continued its desperate struggle against the Zarkov invasion. The holographic display in the center of the chamber shifted, zooming in on a battlefield in what was once the sprawling metropolis of Tokyo. Captain Yuki Tanaka crouched behind the twisted wreckage of a Zarkov walker, her armor caked with mud and alien ichor. She signaled to her squad, a ragtag group of soldiers from a dozen nations, united in their fight for survival. They moved with practiced precision, darting from cover to cover as they approached their target. A Zarkov command node. Humanity's tactical adaptability is unprecedented, observed the Centauri delegate, its tentacles writhing in agitation. They learn and evolve their strategies faster than any species we've encountered. The display showed Tanaka's team breaching the alien structure, fighting tooth and nail through corridors designed to disorient and terrify. Yet where others might have faltered, the humans pressed on, their determination evident in every calculated move. Meanwhile, in orbit, the remnants of Earth's space fleet engaged in a deadly dance with the Zarkov armée. Admiral Helena Vasquez stood on the bridge of the UES Defiant, a patchwork vessel built from the salvaged remains of both human and alien ships. All units, execute Operation Thunderbolt, Vasquez commanded, her voice steady despite the chaos erupting around her. The human fleet split into smaller groups, each targeting a specific weakness in the Zarkov formation that had been identified through countless battles and sacrifices. The Syrian delegate's crystalline form vibrated with astonishment. Their ships, they're not just fighting. They're communicating, coordinating in ways the Zarkov can't predict. As the Council watched, the human fleet executed a series of maneuvers that seemed to defy logic, drawing the Zarkov into a complex trap. Explosions blossomed in the void of space as the aliens found themselves outflanked and outmaneuvered by a supposedly inferior force. Back on Earth, the scene shifted to a hidden research facility, deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Dr. Ilara Chen worked feverishly, surrounded by a team of the world's brightest minds. They pored over salvage Zarkov technology, their eyes bleary from lack of sleep, but burning with determination. "We've cracked it," Chen announced, her voice hoarse with exhaustion and excitement. "The Zarkov hive mind. We can disrupt it. Not just temporarily, but permanently." The Arcturian pulsed with surprise. "Impossible. Their psychic defenses have repelled every attempt at infiltration for millennia." Yet the impossible was unfolding before their eyes. As Chen's team deployed their device, Zarkov forces across the globe began to falter. The hive mind that had made them so formidable was fracturing, leaving individual units confused and vulnerable. In Tokyo, Captain Tanaka and her squad seized the opportunity. They fought their way to the heart of the command node, planting explosive charges with practiced efficiency. As they retreated, the structure collapsed behind them, taking a significant portion of the alien leadership with it. The Andromedan representative's gelatinous form rippled with excitement. They're not just surviving. They're winning. Actually winning against the Zarkov. In orbit, Admiral Vasquez watched as the enemy fleet began to crumble. Without the guidance of their hive mind, the massive bioships floundered, becoming easy targets for the nimble human vessels. All ships pressed the advantage, Vasquez ordered, a fierce grin on her face. "Let's show these bastards what happens when they pick a fight with humanity." The Galactic Council chamber was abuzz with astonishment, and for some, a growing sense of hope. Species that had lived in fear of the Zarkov for countless generations were witnessing something they had never dared to imagine. The invincible enemy was being defeated. "We can no longer stand idle," the Arcturian declared, its energy form pulsing with urgency. Humanity has proven themselves not just worthy of survival, but perhaps the greatest hope our galaxy has ever known. The Regellian ambassador chittered in agreement. They have accomplished in mere cycles what our combined civilizations could not achieve in eons. We must act. We must ally ourselves with these humans. A vote was called, and for the first time in the Council's long history, it was unanimous. The most advanced civilizations in the galaxy would extend their hand in friendship and alliance to the upstart species from Earth. As the decision was made, the holographic display showed a final scene. In the ruins of Paris, a small girl stood atop a fallen Zarkoth machine. She raised a tattered flag, not of any one nation, but a new banner that represented a united Earth. Around her, cheers erupted from a battered but unbroken humanity. The Syrian delegate's voice was filled with awe. They did it. They actually did it. Humanity has broken the Zarkoth. No, the Arcturian corrected, its tone solemn yet filled with newfound respect. They've done more than that. They've given our galaxy something it hasn't had in millennia. Hope. As the Council prepared to make contact with Earth, a new chapter in galactic history was about to unfold. Humanity, the species too stubborn to die, was about to take its place among the stars. And the universe would never be the same again. The dust of battle had barely settled on Earth when the Galactic Council made its move. As humanity began the monumental task of rebuilding their shattered world, a new challenge appeared on the horizon. First contact with the advanced civilizations that had watched their struggle from afar. Dr. Ilara Chen stood in the United Nations Assembly Hall, her eyes fixed on the shimmering portal that had appeared moments ago. Around her, world leaders and military commanders tensed, hands hovering near weapons. The air crackled with anticipation and no small amount of fear. "Stay calm," Chen murmured, more to herself than anyone else. "We've faced worse. We've survived worse." The portal rippled, and through it stepped the most diverse collection of beings humanity had ever seen. The Arcturian, a pulsing mass of energy, the towering insectoid Regellian, the crystalline Syrian, and more, each alien form more fantastical than the last. For a moment, silence reigned. Then, to everyone's surprise, the aliens bowed deeply. The Arcturian's voice resonated through the hall, translated by some unseen technology. "People of Earth, we come in peace and with profound respect. You have accomplished what no other species in the history of our galaxy has achieved. You have defeated the Zarkoth." Murmurs rippled through the human delegation. Admiral Helena Vasquez, still wearing her battle-scarred uniform, stepped forward. "With all due respect," she said, her voice firm, "where were you when we were fighting for our very existence?" The Regellian chittered, its mandibles clicking in what might have been embarrassment. "We observed. As we have always done, it is our deepest shame that we did not act sooner. We believed your species too young, too fragile to survive," the Syrian added, her crystalline form shimmering. "We were wrong. Gloriously, wonderfully wrong." Captain Yuki Tanaka, freshly returned from the battlefields of Tokyo, couldn't contain her anger. "Millions died. Our cities lie in ruins. And you just watched." The Arcturian pulsed softly, its light dimming. "Your anger is justified. We have failed you, and countless others before you. But in your triumph, you have changed everything. The Galactic Council has voted, unanimously, to offer Earth full membership and alliance." The human delegates exchanged glances, a mix of suspicion and hope on their faces. Dr. Chen stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overcoming her caution. "What exactly does this alliance entail?" "Knowledge," the Arcturian replied. "Technology beyond your imagining. The combined wisdom of 1,000 civilizations, and a chance to reshape the galaxy alongside us." President Adama of the African Union, his voice deep and resonant, posed the question on everyone's mind. "And what do you want in return?" The alien delegates shared a look that somehow conveyed both amusement and respect. The Andromedan, its gelatinous form rippling, spoke for the first time. What do we want? We want you to be you, to bring your indomitable spirit, your adaptability, your sheer stubborn refusal to accept defeat to the galactic stage. The Zarkoth were but one threat among many. The Rigelian added, our complacency, our fear, allowed them to rampage unchecked for too long. But you, humans, you fought back. You innovated. You united in the face of annihilation. In short, the Syrian concluded, her crystalline voice ringing clear, we need you. The galaxy needs you. The human delegation fell into hushed discussion. The offer was unprecedented, the possibilities staggering. But suspicion ran deep, born from the crucible of a war fought alone. Admiral Vasquez's voice cut through the murmurs. You say you need us. Prove it. Help us rebuild. Share your medical technology to heal our wounded. Then maybe we can talk about reshaping the galaxy. The aliens nodded, seemingly pleased by the Admiral's directness. It shall be done, the Arcturian agreed. Consider it the first step in atoning for our inaction. As the discussions continued, the news spread across the globe. Humanity, battered but unbroken, stood at the threshold of a new era. They had fought for survival and emerged victorious. Now, they were being offered the stars. In the weeks that followed, alien ships appeared in Earth's skies, not as conquerors, but as allies. Advanced medical techniques healed injuries thought permanent. Replicator technology eased the food shortages caused by the war. Slowly, cautiously, Earth began to heal. But even as they accepted help, humans didn't rest. The same spirit that had driven them to victory against the Zarkoth now turned to the stars. Scientists worked alongside alien counterparts, pushing the boundaries of knowledge. The military, led by the likes of Vasquez and Tanaka, began adapting their hard-won tactics to the challenges of space, and Dr. Chen, along with her team, delved deeper into the mysteries of the universe, their hunger for knowledge insatiable. The technology that had disrupted the Zarkoth hive mind was just the beginning. Humanity was determined to carve out their place among the stars, not as supplicants, but as equals. As the first human ships prepared to venture beyond the solar system, a new saying began to circulate among the alien races, as stubborn as a human. It was met with a mixture of exasperation and admiration. For the species that had been too stubborn to die was now too determined to be held back. The age of humanity had truly begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. 5 years after humanity's first contact with the Galactic Council, the Sol system had become a hub of interstellar activity. Earth's orbit bustled with ships of all shapes and sizes, a testament to the rapid integration of human and alien technologies. But for all the progress made, tensions simmered beneath the surface of this new galactic order. Captain Yuki Tanaka stood on the bridge of the UES Dauntless, Earth's first true interstellar warship. A marvel of hybrid technology, it represented the best of human ingenuity combined with alien advancements. As they prepared for their maiden voyage, Tanaka couldn't shake a sense of unease. Status report, she barked, her eyes scanning the holographic displays that filled the bridge. Her XO, a towering Rigelian named Zixtar, chittered a response. All systems nominal, Captain. We are cleared for departure. Tanaka nodded, a ghost of a smile playing on her lips. 5 years ago, the idea of working alongside an alien would have been unthinkable. Now it was just another day at the office. As the Dauntless broke free of Earth's gravity well, a communication came through from Admiral Vasquez, now the head of Earth's unified Space Force. Captain Tanaka, your mission is crucial. Vasquez's hologram flickered to life on the bridge. We've detected anomalies in the Epsilon Eridani system. The Council is concerned it might be Zarkoth activity. Tanaka's blood ran cold. The Zarkoth, while defeated, had not been completely eradicated. Pockets of resistance still existed, striking from the shadows at vulnerable colonies. Understood, Admiral. We'll investigate and report back. As the Dauntless entered FTL, Tanaka couldn't help but reflect on how much had changed. Humanity had leaped forward centuries in technology, but the scars of the invasion ran deep. Trust between species remained fragile, with many humans still resenting the Council's initial inaction. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Dr. Ilara Chen faced challenges of her own. The research facility beneath the Rocky Mountains had expanded into a sprawling complex, a melting pot of human and alien scientists pushing the boundaries of known science. The results are conclusive, Chen announced to a mixed group of human and alien colleagues. The quantum entanglement drive is stable. We can revolutionize interstellar travel. Excited murmurs filled the room, but Chen noticed the Syrian representative, Crystal Song of Dawn, vibrating with what seemed like concern. Dr. Chen, the crystalline being chimed, "While your achievement is impressive, we must consider the implications. Such technology could destabilize the current balance of power in the galaxy." Chen's eyes narrowed. Isn't that exactly what humanity was invited to do? To shake things up? The debate that followed was heated, reflecting the larger tensions growing throughout the galaxy. Humanity's rapid advancement and unconventional problem-solving were causing ripples. Some council races celebrated this new dynamism, while others grew increasingly wary of the upstart species. In the fringes of colonized space, these tensions were coming to a head. The colony of New Eden, one of humanity's first extrasolar settlements, had become a flashpoint. Human colonists, fiercely independent and still distrustful of alien intentions, clashed with council peacekeepers. Governor Marcus Reed, a veteran of the HFY War, addressed a crowd of angry colonists. "We didn't fight off one alien invasion just to submit to another. We have the right to govern ourselves, to expand as we see fit." The crowd roared its approval, but not everyone was convinced. Sarah Okonkwo, leader of the pro-council faction, fought to make her voice heard. "We're part of something bigger now," she shouted. "The galaxy is full of wonders and dangers we can't face alone. We need allies." As the debate raged on New Eden, the Dauntless dropped out of FTL in the Epsilon Eridani system. The scene that greeted them sent a chill down Tanaka's spine. A massive structure floated in space, organic and mechanical components melded together in a nightmarish fashion. It pulsed with an eerie, sickly light. By the void, Zixtar chittered, mandibles clicking rapidly. "It's a Zarkov incubator. They're breeding." Tanaka's mind raced. This was beyond their capabilities to handle alone, but she knew that waiting for council reinforcements could be catastrophic. The old human stubbornness surged within her. "Battle stations," she ordered, her voice steady despite the fear clawing at her gut. "We didn't come this far to back down now. Prep the prototype weapons. We're taking that thing out." As the Dauntless moved into attack position, the incubator came to life, disgorging swarms of Zarkov fighters. The battle that ensued would become legendary, a testament to human courage and the strength of unlikely alliances. Back on Earth, unaware of the battle raging light years away, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. The Arcturian representative pulsed with urgency as it addressed the assembly. "We stand at a crossroads," it intoned. "Humanity's influence grows by the day. They push boundaries, challenge norms, and yes, they make mistakes, but they also inspire, innovate, and fight with a ferocity that awes even the eldest among us." The chamber buzzed with conflicting opinions. Some called for restricting human expansion, while others argued for embracing the change they brought. As the debate raged, a message arrived from the Epsilon Eridani system. The chamber fell silent as they listened to Captain Tanaka's battle-worn voice. "Galactic Council, this is UES Dauntless. The Zarkov threat has been neutralized, but at great cost. We need immediate assistance. And tell Earth. Tell them we held the line. Humanity stands unbowed." The message crackled out, leaving the council in stunned silence. Once again, humanity had done the impossible. Once again, they had proven themselves too stubborn to die. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see what this indomitable species would do next. The news of the battle at Epsilon Eridani spread through the galaxy like wildfire. Captain Yuki Tanaka and the crew of the UES Dauntless had become instant legends, their victory over the Zarkoth incubator, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. But as the dust settled, new challenges arose, threatening the fragile balance between humanity and the Galactic Council. On Earth, the aftermath of the battle was felt keenly. Admiral Helena Vasquez stood before a joint session of the United Nations and alien diplomats, her face grim as she delivered her report. The threat was neutralized, but at a heavy cost, she said, her voice echoing through the chamber. The Dauntless suffered severe damage. We lost good people out there. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices, human and alien alike. Some called for increased military presence in frontier systems, while others demanded a more cautious approach to expansion. Amidst the chaos, Dr. Ilara Chen stepped forward, her eyes blazing with determination. "This isn't just about military might," she declared. "The Zarkoth incubator represents a technological leap we hadn't anticipated. We need to understand it, to learn from it." The Arcturian representative pulsed with concern. "Dr. Chen, such research could be dangerous. The Zarkoth technology is notoriously unstable and corrupting." Chen's reply was sharp. "And yet, it's that very instability that Captain Tanaka and her crew exploited to achieve victory. Imagine what we could accomplish if we truly understood it." The debate raged on, but Chen's words had struck a chord. Humanity's appetite for knowledge, their willingness to push boundaries, had become both their greatest strength and a source of concern for their alien allies. Meanwhile, on the colony of New Eden, tensions had reached a boiling point. Governor Marcus Reed, emboldened by the victory at Epsilon Eridani, had declared martial law, effectively cutting off the colony from council oversight. Sarah Okonkwo, leader of the pro-council faction, found herself under house arrest. But years of living on the frontier had made her resourceful. Using a smuggled communicator, she managed to send a message to the council. "The situation here is dire," she whispered, her eyes darting nervously. "Reed is mobilizing a militia. He's talking about human supremacy, about taking our rightful place in the galaxy. Please, we need help before this escalates into..." The transmission cut off abruptly, leaving the council in a state of alarm. The prospect of a human colony going rogue threatened to undo years of careful diplomacy. Back on the Dauntless, now limping its way home for repairs, Captain Tanaka received the news of New Eden's situation with a heavy heart. She turned to her XO, Zixtar, whose chitinous face was unreadable to most humans, but had become an open book to her. "Your thoughts, old friend?" she asked. Zixtar's antennae twitched thoughtfully. "It is a complex situation, Captain. The humans of New Eden feel abandoned, just as all of humanity did during the Zarkoth invasion. Their actions, while extreme, come from a place of fear and a desire for self-determination." Tanaka nodded, a wry smile on her lips. "Stubborn to a fault, aren't we? But this could spark a war if we're not careful." As if on cue, a priority transmission came through from Admiral Vasquez. "Captain, I'm diverting you to New Eden. Your mission is to de-escalate the situation by any means necessary. The Council is breathing down our necks on this one." Tanaka acknowledged the order, her mind already racing with possibilities. She knew Reed from the war, knew the pain and distrust that drove him. But she also understood the bigger picture, the delicate balance that had to be maintained for humanity's sake. As the Dauntless changed course, pushing its damaged systems to the limit, events on Earth were unfolding at a rapid pace. Dr. Chen, granted permission to study the Zarkoth technology, made a startling discovery. "It's not just a weapon," she explained to a rapt audience of scientists and military officials. "The Zarkoth were experimenting with dimensional phasing. They weren't just breeding. They were trying to bring something through from another reality. The implications were staggering. If the Zarkov had succeeded, the galaxy might have faced a threat far greater than anyone had imagined. But Chen saw opportunity where others saw only danger. If we can understand and control this technology, she continued, her eyes gleaming with excitement, we could revolutionize everything from space travel to energy production. The Syrian representative, Crystal Song of Dawn, vibrated with alarm. Such power could tear the fabric of space-time itself. It is too dangerous to pursue. Chen's response was pure human determination. Every great advancement comes with risk. We can't let fear hold us back. Not now, not ever. As debates raged across the galaxy, as tensions mounted on distant colonies, as scientists pushed the boundaries of the possible, one thing became clear. Humanity's journey among the stars was just beginning. They had survived extinction, challenged the status quo, and now stood poised to reshape the very nature of reality itself. The species that was too stubborn to die had become the species too ambitious to be contained, and the galaxy watched, wondered, and worried about what would come next. The UVS Dauntless dropped out of FTL on the outskirts of the New Eden system, its hull still bearing the scars of the Epsilon Eridani battle. Captain Yuki Tanaka stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the holographic display of the colony world. "Status report," she ordered, her voice tense. Zixtar's mandibles clicked as he responded. "The colony's defensive systems are active, Captain. They're not responding to hails." Tanaka gritted her teeth. The situation was even worse than she'd feared. "Keep trying, and scan for any signs of Council peacekeepers." As the Dauntless cautiously approached New Eden, the crew could feel the weight of their mission. They weren't just here to quell a rebellion. They were fighting for humanity's future in the galactic community. On the planet's surface, Governor Marcus Reed paced in his fortified command center. Surrounded by holographic displays showing the Dauntless's approach, he turned to his advisors. "They're here to stop us," he growled, "to force us back under the Council's thumb. We didn't fight off the Zarkov just to become puppets to a different master." Sarah Okonkwo, who had been brought to the command center under guard, spoke up. "Marcus, please, this isn't the way. We can negotiate, find a middle ground." Reed cut her off with a sharp gesture. "There is no middle ground, Sarah. It's independence or subjugation, and I know which side I'm on." As tensions mounted on New Eden, back on Earth, Dr. Ilara Chen was making a breakthrough that would change everything. In her lab beneath the Rocky Mountains, she stood before a shimmering portal of energy, her team of human and alien scientists watching in awe. "We've done it," Chen breathed, her eyes wide with wonder. "A stable interdimensional gateway." The Syrian scientist, Crystal Song of Dawn, vibrated with a mix of fear and excitement. "Dr. Chen, the implications of this, it's beyond anything we've ever..." Chen's reply was cut short as the portal suddenly pulsed, expanding rapidly. Alarms blared as energy readings spiked off the charts. "Shut it down," Chen yelled, but it was too late. The portal stabilized, and through it stepped a figure that defied description, a being of pure energy, its form shifting and pulsing with otherworldly power. At last, the entity's voice resonated in their minds. "A way into your reality." Panic erupted in the lab as scientists scrambled to contain the situation. Chen stood her ground, facing the entity with a mix of scientific curiosity and primal fear. "What are you?" she demanded. The entity's form rippled. "We are what the Zarkov sought to become. We are evolution perfected. And now, thanks to you, we have found a new realm to improve." As chaos unfolded in Chen's lab, the situation on New Eden reached a boiling point. The Dauntless had entered orbit, and Captain Tanaka was making one last attempt at diplomacy. "Governor Reed," she broadcast, her voice firm but empathetic. "This is Captain Tanaka. We fought together against the Zarkov. Please, let's not fight each other now." Reed's response was swift and hostile. "You've chosen your side, Tanaka. You're with them now. If you want this colony, you'll have to take it by force. Tanaka closed her eyes, feeling the weight of the moment. When she opened them, her resolve was steel. All hands, prepare for planetary insertion. We're going in. As the Dauntless deployed its dropships, the colony's defense systems roared to life. The sky above New Eden lit up with weapons fire, a brutal dance of light and destruction. Tanaka led the ground assault herself, her mixed team of humans and aliens fighting their way through the streets of the colony. The rebels, fueled by fear and determination, put up fierce resistance. Push forward, Tanaka yelled over the din of battle. Minimal force. These are our people. The fighting was intense, urban warfare at its most chaotic. But Tanaka's team, hardened by their battles against the Zarkov, slowly but surely advanced towards the governor's stronghold. As they neared their objective, Tanaka's comm crackled to life. It was Admiral Vasquez, her voice urgent. "Captain, abort mission." "I repeat, abort mission. We have a situation on Earth. Unknown entities emerging from interdimensional portals." There. The transmission cut off in a burst of static. Tanaka froze, her mind reeling. The mission, the rebellion, suddenly seemed insignificant in the face of this new threat. She looked at her team, at the colonial defenders, all locked in a battle that now seemed pointless. "All forces, cease fire," she yelled, her voice carrying across the battlefield. "Governor Reed, do you copy? We have a greater threat. Earth is under attack." For a moment, the sounds of battle continued. Then, gradually, the firing stopped. Reed's voice came over the comm, disbelief evident in his tone. "What did you say, Tanaka?" "I said Earth is under attack," Tanaka repeated, her voice grim. "And if we don't stand together now, there might not be a humanity left to argue about independence." A heavy silence fell over the battlefield. Then, slowly, weapons were lowered. Enemies who had been trying to kill each other moments ago now stood side by side, united by a common threat. Reed emerged from his bunker, his face a mask of conflicting emotions. "What do we do now, Captain?" Tanaka's reply was resolute. "We do what humanity does best. We fight. We adapt. And we show the galaxy once again why we're too stubborn to die." As the unlikely allies prepared for the battle to come, across the stars, Dr. Chen and her team fought their own desperate struggle against the interdimensional invaders. The fate of not just humanity, but the entire galaxy hung in the balance. The species that had survived extinction was now faced with its greatest challenge yet. But if there was one thing the galaxy had learned, it was to never underestimate human determination. The galaxy stood on the brink of chaos. Earth, the homeworld of humanity, was under siege by interdimensional beings of immense power. The Galactic Council, once skeptical of humanity's worth, now watched in a mix of horror and awe as the upstart species faced its greatest challenge yet. In the heart of the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Ilara Chen worked feverishly to contain the portal she had inadvertently opened. The lab was a war zone, with scientists and security personnel fighting side by side against waves of otherworldly entities. "We need to reverse the polarity," Chen shouted over the cacophony of battle. "If we can create a feedback loop, we might be able to close the portal." Crystal Song of Dawn, the Syrian scientist, vibrated in agreement, but the power requirements would be enormous. "We'd need to channel energy on a scale we've never." Chen's eyes lit up with a dangerous idea. "The Zarkov technology. It's our only shot." As Chen and her team raced against time, Captain Yuki Tanaka and the unlikely alliance of New Eden colonists and Council peacekeepers prepared for their return to Earth. The UES Dauntless, joined by a ragtag fleet of colonial ships, pushed its engines to the limit. On the bridge, Tanaka addressed her diverse crew. "I won't lie to you. What we're about to face is unlike anything we've encountered before. But remember this. Humanity didn't survive the Zarkov by giving up. We didn't unite the galaxy by backing down from a challenge. We are stubborn, we are resilient, And today, we will show these interdimensional invaders why you don't mess with Earth. A cheer went up from the crew, human and alien alike. As one, the fleet jumped to FTL, racing towards their besieged homeworld. Back on Earth, the situation was dire. Major cities around the globe were under attack, interdimensional rifts tearing open the sky. The Galactic Council, realizing the threat extended beyond Earth, had finally mobilized its full might. But even their advanced technology seemed to falter against the reality-warping powers of the invaders. In orbit, Admiral Helena Vasquez coordinated the defense from her flagship. "All ships, form up," she commanded. "Concentrate fire on the largest rifts. We need to buy Dr. Chen more time." The space above Earth became a spectacular light show of weapons fire and dimensional energy. Council ships, human vessels, and even a few former rebel craft from New Eden fought side by side against waves of bizarre, otherworldly constructs pouring from the rifts. On the ground, in the streets of New York, Tokyo, Lagos, and countless other cities, humanity fought with everything they had. Civilians armed with little more than courage stood alongside Marines wielding reverse-engineered Zarkov weapons. Every inch of ground was contested, every moment a struggle for survival. Governor Marcus Reed, now fighting alongside the forces he had once opposed, shouted into his comm, "Tanaka, where the hell are you? We're getting slaughtered down here." As if in answer, the sky lit up with new energy signatures. The Dauntless and its fleet had arrived, plunging headlong into the fray. "This is Captain Tanaka." Her voice rang out across all frequencies. "Cavalry's here, and we brought friends. All ships, engage at will. Show these interdimensional bastards why you don't invade humanity's home." The battle intensified, the combined might of humanity and their galactic allies pushing back against the invaders with renewed vigor. But for all their effort, for every rift they managed to close, two more seemed to open. In her lab, Dr. Chen knew they were running out of time. "It's ready," she shouted, indicating a massive, jury-rigged device that hummed with ominous power. "But there's a problem. Someone needs to stay behind to manually activate it. The feedback it'll be fatal." A heavy silence fell over the lab, broken only by the sounds of battle outside. Then Crystal Song of Dawn stepped forward, her crystalline form resonating with determination. "I will do it," the Syrian said. "My people have lived for eons, watching the galaxy from afar. It's time we did something truly meaningful." Chen wanted to argue, but there was no time. With a nod of deep respect, she and her team evacuated the lab. Crystal Song of Dawn stood alone before the device, facing the swirling interdimensional portal. "For Earth," the Syrian chimed. "For the future." With that, Crystal Song of Dawn activated the device. Energy surge, reality itself seemed to buckle, and then silence. Across the globe, across the solar system, the rifts began to close. The interdimensional invaders, cut off from their source of power, fell before the combined might of Earth's defenders. As the dust settled and the full extent of their victory became clear, a new era dawned. Humanity, tested by fire once again, had not only survived, but had united the galaxy in a way never before seen. In the aftermath, as reconstruction began, Captain Tanaka stood before the Galactic Council. Admiral Vasquez and Dr. Chen flanked her, along with representatives from every nation on Earth and every colony. The Arcturian representative pulsed with an emotion that could only be described as awe. Humanity has proven itself not just worthy of membership in the galactic community, but essential to its survival. Your species' stubborn refusal to accept defeat, your ability to unite in the face of overwhelming odds, has saved us all. Tanaka stepped forward, her voice carrying the weight of all humanity had endured and achieved. "We didn't do it alone. Every species, every individual who stood with us, who fought and sacrificed, they're all part of this victory. We've learned that our strength lies not just in our determination, but in our ability to bring others together, to forge alliances in the darkest of times. She paused, looking out at the assembled representatives of a united galaxy. We've faced extinction twice now, and twice we've emerged stronger. But our journey isn't over. There are more challenges ahead, more frontiers to explore, more battles to fight, and we'll face them all the same way we always have, together, with unwavering resolve and the stubborn belief that nothing is impossible. As Tanaka's words echoed through the chamber, a new chapter in galactic history began. Humanity, the species too stubborn to die, had become the cornerstone of a new, united galactic civilization. And as they looked to the stars, to the infinite possibilities that awaited them, one thing was certain: whatever challenges the universe might throw at them, they would face them head-on, with the indomitable spirit that had become their hallmark. The future, vast and unknown, beckoned, and humanity, along with their galactic allies, stood ready to meet it.